Today's Cowboys Report is made possible by Kinzuri, the height-boosting shoes. You guys can get 15% off your order at kinzuri.com/chat as we get set to preview the Cowboys vs. Raiders Week 3 preseason matchup. And if you want us to go live earlier for this particular game, we need your help. Like the video right now. It'll be a battle between the Cowboys Report and the Raiders Report. If we get enough likes, we get to go live before Mitch and his crew does. So like the video for me right now. The Raiders are coming to Arlington, or I guess Dallas if you want to go with the team name, but it is in Arlington after all, for this preseason Week 3 matchup, which I hope and pray does not feature nearly the same level of flags as what we saw the last time the Cowboys and the Raiders squared off in that ref-filled BS of a Thanksgiving game. Definitely not bitter at all. Expect once again, by the way, folks, for the Cowboys to prefer rust over risk when it comes to their key players. Don't anticipate seeing Dak Prescott, Micah Parsons, CeeDee Lamb, Tyron Smith, DeMarcus Lawrence, etc. Those guys will remain out. You might even see some more of your younger, notable players get some breathers. I bet Mozzie Smith will still play. We'll see about Jalen Tolbert, etc. But the Cowboys will be cautious and not jeopardize injury when enough other players aren't going to be playing anyway. The Raiders are the betting favorite, in part because they've had great success with Aiden O'Connell, AOC, as their backup quarterback. They've put up a bunch of points so far. Raiders are 5.5-point favorites. The over-under set at 38.5. I kind of like the over, which I don't normally like in the preseason, but I'm kind of intrigued by this one there. Raiders are favored. The Cowboys trying to avoid going winless in the preseason. Not that it really matters, but I do think that is at least worth mentioning briefly. So before we preview the game and mention a trade rumor idea, speculative buzz out there, who do you have winning? C for the Dallas Cowboys, R for the Las Vegas Raiders. This is going to be today's pinned comment. So if the ad plays here on YouTube, that's fine. Instead, take advantage of the ad. Head down there and go vote. C for the Cowboys or R for the Raiders. Let's break down what to watch for in this game. Number one for me, and among many things, and I'm not even putting Mozzie Smith on this, although he certainly qualifies, is the running backs. You will not be seeing Tony Pollard in this game. I think Rico Dowdle has pretty much cemented his roster status. Same with Deuce Vaughn. So I am curious to see how much those guys play. Now, Vaughn's a rookie. Mike McCarthy isn't scared of playing his first-year players. Rico Dowdle seems to have settled in as kind of the next man up behind Pollard, with Deuce Vaughn having his own kind of more specialized role, usage, etc. Malik Davis is firmly behind the other those two options there. Hunter Lipke has barely played, basically just the fourth quarters. I wouldn't be shocked if he got some more run. We will see about Ronald Jones. He returned to practice on Tuesday in individual drills. Not a guarantee he's able to go, so we're going to have to see let's see what happens from that perspective in terms of Ronald Jones' status. So far, Dowdle and Vaughn have been the best options in the backfield. And remember, at one point, Deuce Vaughn had about 14 touches for 75 yards, then the offensive line failed him, which we'll get to in a little bit, by the way. But the Cowboys have some options in the backfield. I'm curious what the rotation looks like. By the way, if Dowdle does not play, that is your clear and obvious sign he's going to be your top backup behind Tony Pollard. Now, today's show is presented by Kinzuri. Fellas, Deuce Vaughn, have you ever wished you were a little bit taller? Maybe you matched on Tinder, but a profile says must be over 6 foot. Maybe your date wants to wear heels, but you can't because it'll make her taller than you. We've got Short Kings covered with today's sponsor, Kinzuri. They make shoes that can add up to 2.8 inches to your height without anyone knowing. If Deuce Vaughn was 2.8 inches taller, he might have been a first-round pick. Girls get heels, makeup, push-up bras, etc. So why can't men get a confidence boost too? Kinzuri shoes are not just height boosting, but also stylish and comfortable. They are not grandpa's ugly Velcro shoes, but fashionable shoes that can receive compliments even without the height increase. The height insoles are built into the shoes, making it the ultimate height hack. For limited time only, you guys get an extra 15% off your order at kinzuri.com/chat. The site is already 30% off, so with our link, you get an extra 15%. If you're not good at math, that's 45% off your entire order. Support our show and check them out at conzuri.com/chat. Life is short, but you don't have to be. Level up the playing field, boys, and maybe update that dating profile to 6 foot. Links in the comment section and the description of today's show. It's conzuri.com/chat. What to watch for number 2? How about the pass rushers? And in particular, there's a couple names I'm keeping an eye out for, even if they don't play in this game. Allow me to explain what I mean by that. The Cowboys have options right now at defensive end, and frankly, their depth is better than what you are accustomed to seeing out there. It is a better group of pieces along the defensive line than what Dallas has been able to do in years past. There's Micah Parsons, there's Dorance Armstrong, there's Sam Williams, who we'll get to in a minute, Dante Fowler, Isaiah Land has flashed in very impressive fashion thus far. Ben Bannigue, maybe not so much, but Tyrus Wheat probably gets some defensive end reps in this particular game, so I'm curious to see how it all plays out. Now, what's worth mentioning, as we broke down when it happened on Wednesday, is that Sam Williams has been arrested for drug/weapons charges. Kind of group those two charges together there. Any suspension that could potentially happen for Sam Williams is likely distant in the future. The NFL will let the legal process play out. That's not going to be resolved by week 1. So he'll be out there unless the Cowboys choose to do something themselves. Although, is he going to play in this one? Did the Cowboys sit him? Do they punish him by making him play and get some extra cardio in? Who knows? But what I'm also curious about is the status of Dorance Armstrong. It has been very quiet for Dorance Armstrong as of late. How much buzz have you guys really heard about him at training camp? He's been banged up, allegedly. And I think he does represent a pretty decent trade chip, if that is a route that the Cowboys wanted to go. Whether or not it would save some money, by the way, about $5.75 million. And if you have other guys you like an Isaiah Land, you want to go cheaper and maybe get a draft pick or maybe some offensive line help, Armstrong stands out as a possible trade candidate for the Cowboys. The other question is, because he hasn't been out there very much, is, okay, which one are you going to get? Which version of Dorance Armstrong shows up for you into the future? Is it the one who averaged, had 13 sacks and 11 TFLs in 20 games in the back end of 2021 and the beginning of 2022? Or is it the guy that's had 3 sacks over 56 games of his career? He's been inconsistent. There's that really great stretch of Pro Bowl caliber play. And beyond that, in part because most of that came when he was younger, hasn't been that great. So you got to get that one figured out. So what to do with Dorance Armstrong? T for trade or K for keep? Maybe talk about this more in the future too. But get those votes in for me in the comment section. Number 3 is linebacker usage. How do all these players get on the field? And not only at linebacker, but really your bigger-bodied safeties. As we all know, DeMarvion Overshown's season is over. As we sit here filming this, not officially placed on IR, that might change, in the nearish future. But Van Der Esch won't play. We'll see how much Damone Clark even plays. Might be a game where he sits to give as many reps as possible to Jabril Cox, to Devin Harper, and your safeties who can rotate down, namely Marquise Bell. I think you will see a lot of Marquise Bell linebacker reps, although Mukwamu will probably play, Wanye Thomas will play, Tyler Coyle will play. Sheldon Crowell has a hamstring, so you're a little bit thin just in your pure numbers at linebacker and at safety. Number 4 is Brandon Aubrey, the kicker. He's actually been pretty solid ever since the Cowboys moved on from Tristan Vizcaino. Aubrey's gone 52 of 59 entering Wednesday night practice on kicks in practice and the preseason. But he hasn't been challenged that much. He did miss an extra point as well in the Cowboys' first preseason game. I wouldn't be mad if the Cowboys, settled for more field goals to really test out what they have in Aubrey, since roster cuts are coming on Tuesday. So do you believe in Brandon Aubrey? Y for yes, N for no. You guys can sound off for me in the comments section right now. Do you trust the Cowboys kicker? Number 5, offensive line. And this has been a problem in terms of depth for the Cowboys. Your starting 5's pretty solid. It's the backups that go, Can TJ Bass surpass Josh Ball at right guard? Is Matt Waletzko back to being healthy and able to make an impact for this team at tackle? Austin Richards actually been pretty decent there. Can Matt Farniok and or Brock Hoffman look more stable? Chuma Adoga's been banged up. Is he going to be able to play? I'm not sure that's the case there. I want to see some better play up front because I don't trust offensive linemen 6 through 10 right now, or 9 or 8 or however many you carry. And if I don't trust lineman 6, he's going to have to play this year. That's how football works, especially when your left tackle is Tyron Smith. So if they don't impress, Dallas better go find somebody in the near future.